going.
Okay. Civil War in America. What happened in the last Civil War is simply civil unrest. What causes a civil war is the government not taking care of the issues of the land, and today we're more informed than ever before. The first Civil War, truthfully, had a lot less issues to take care of than we have today. There was during the time of the Civil War, there was a preacher named Charles Spurgeon who didn't actually live in the U.S., but he talked some about the things that was going on here, and it seemed like there was he was from Europe, England, and but there were no preachers here. And just like with the first Civil War, what's going on here today is very much like what was going on then in the 1860 era. There are no preachers or telling the truth. People being misled by government policies rather than being led by the church of our day. This is a post I'm putting on today. It says, will Civil War come to America again? With so much civil unrest, our own government and the liberal medias alike, ABC, CBS, NBC, CSNBC, stir up anger among the citizens. Instead of giving answers, they only want to talk about problems. Just like our president and our Congress, it's only about the problem. There's no answers. Well, preachers, it's up to you to give the answers to the civil unrest. It's up to you to comfort the soul and the spirit. All you're worried about is what's happening in your little corner of the world. You're not concerned about political matters. You're not concerned about things that are happening in our land that is going to cause a lot of bloodshed. This is why the young Muslim kid got up and went and shot 50 people in a gay bar or whatever it was. It's the American preacher's fault that it has come to this point, that we have allowed ourselves to come to the place where we no longer look to our churches for our moral values. We're looking to the media, we're looking to our government. And you know, read the book of Revelations, the last 2 or 3 verses there. It says, if you add anything to this book, and this book tells us that we need to look to God and the Bible for our moral value system. God put everything together in it. All of our laws are based on the 10 Commandments. All of our laws are based on the 10 Commandments. And without our commandments, none of what is in there could be possible to say it in the way that it said it. There is no other place where we have such a standard as we do in the Bible about what's right and what's wrong. And it hits the nail on the head. There is no other moral system that tells us exactly who and what we are from the inside out. Those 10 Commandments is all there is. There is no more and there is no less. And when we start drifting away from the standard of that, all that we have left is civil unrest. I'm telling you, America, there is a war coming. There is a war coming, and God is going to bear the burden, is going to put the burden that the preachers of this country will bear that burden. When they stand up before God on Judgment Day, God's going to say, you had in your hand the heart of 10,000 that could have made a difference. 10,000 leaders, 10,000 other preachers, 10,000 men that ran television stations, 10,000 men who were heads of the armies, 10,000 of those leaders of this country who could have made a difference. But no, all these are going into hell because, preacher, you did not. You know, it was said of King David in his day, David has killed his 10,000s and Saul has killed his 1,000. David led Saul. He led him in his day. He was a leader. There were 300 men. He wasn't king of nothing. 300 men. Recognize a leader. Listen, you're a leader in the army of God, or else you are leading in the wrong direction. There was a hero named Jeff Hensley that the Lord directed me to talk to him about what he was doing and what he was thinking, because he was leading people, even though he is immaculate in his bravery, and even though he is king of the hill where heroes are concerned. He's leading people. He is with the liberal media, leading them in the wrong direction, not having eyes open, but having everything closed in his mind and in his heart to those godly things. Asked me, did I serve? I said, I put my life at risk, and I know not in the same manner that he did. But in my heart, I laid myself out before the altar and said, here it is, even into my life. And just as sure as he did, who was required a lot more of, and who stood before God in his day more plainly. But I asked him, I said, it's not what happened yesterday that counts before God. It's what's happening now, today. And it's where we're taking those who are following us. If we lead those in a wrong direction, I don't care what you had in the past. Your heroism is a great thing that you have done and will go down in history forever. But will you come to an abrupt end just exactly the same way that King Saul did? King Saul stood right before God one day. And then there was another day, because of his actions, when God sent in the prophet, and the Lord said to the prophet, stop moaning for Saul, but go down to the house of Jesse, and I will show you there one whom I want you to anoint king over all Israel. It doesn't help if our heroism is leading the whole country in the wrong direction. Alrighty? God bless you. Thank you for joining me. Listen, draw close to the Lord with me today. Just draw close. Listen, bring in the light. Bring in the light of the world. Take time. Sit down and take time to let light in. And that light will push darkness out of your soul. It's going to take time to heal this country where we are. But if a war breaks out, I have no words to express the anguish and carnage and the disgusting things. You talking about Feast of the Kings, and it will be as bad as it was that the Bible talks about in Ezekiel 38 and 39, where they'll be picking up bodies for 7 months. Preachers, let's not let this happen in America. Let's just not let this happen in America. Alright, join me again next time. Another great message right here across in the Middle Ministry.